because you can't drink and talk at the same time.
Leave the conversation to us and order another beer.
You're listening to Texas's live
Midday
beer-centric show, Liquid Lunch.
Liquid Lunch.
With producer Perry,
Kennedy and Schaumburg. Here are your hosts,
Catherine Contreras,
and Josh Stewart.
Hooray! Hip hip hooray! Hooray for beer!
Welcome, everybody, to Happy Thursday, everybody.
You moved from your spot.
I always sit over here. I got my new awesome mic stand here that, thanks to my mom's. My mom, she gave me a gift card for my birthday. And this is what I used to buy, this new hands-free. Hands-free. Live streaming faux pas. You want to run in there, grab the big can out of the fridge and 3 glasses? I'll stall.
You don't have to ask twice.
Okay, I'll stall while you go do that. Producer Perry in studio with me. What's Kennedy's official title? Do we have one for him, Perry? Oh, just Kennedy. All right. Well, Kennedy is running and getting something special that I got to pick up yesterday. Hopefully later in this episode, we plan to have Michael Peticolas from Peticolas Brewing in the Dallas area calling in to talk legal stuff and having a brewery in Dallas, decisions on self-distribution versus distribution, the lawsuit that they have won and is still doing that sort of thing. Good job, Kennedy. And much, much more. You'll also notice we are sans Catherine today, as Kennedy and producer Perry talking to their mics over there about stuff that has nothing to pertain to what's going on the show. Anyway,
We have audio now.
Oh, did we not before?
No.
Do I need to
did
redo
not.
all of that?
No.
Hey, everybody, welcome. Welcome to the show. It was pretty awesome when we first started it. So
Yeah, that was. I think that was our best open ever.
it's just too bad that,
That's okay.
it was missed by everyone. All right, we're going to try to get Michael Peticolas in right at 12:05. We'll see if he calls in. What's the area code for the Dallas area? Because I think he might have just called in. All right, we'll call him back. We'll take a break real quick. Let's do what we're drinking real quick. Huh? Okay. What? Okay. Yeah.
It's time for your favorite segment and mine here on Liquid Lunch. This is
Whatcha Drinkin?
And there it is. I picked this up yesterday. Interbrews, my podcast. I'm going to give a plug as like clockwork. The yard guys across the street show up right in time for our live show. I got to go to Eureka Heights Brewing yesterday to record an episode of Interbrews, which should be up within the next few days. I got a lot of good episodes coming up, but there you see, they're crowlers. They're able to fill crowlers of their own beer. That's their ESB. And let me tell you, it is a delicious, malty, English-style beer. All right, you know what? Hold on, everybody. Hold on. We got guests. There we go. Let's answer that. Hey, Michael.
Hey, Josh, how are you doing?
Doing well. How are you? Let me turn you up a little bit here. Hey, how's it? How are things in Dallas?
Going very, very well. Looking forward to a little liquid lunch here today.
Awesome. Well, we are currently pouring up a beer I picked up yesterday from a new brewery here in Dallas, right down in the Heights, Eureka Heights. I was recording an interview with them yesterday, so that's what we're currently drinking today, and we're in the middle of that segment as Kennedy. Kennedy, what's your official title? Are you a producer, director, official
I
drinker?
don't know.
Producer.
Okay.
We could just
That
go
sounds like
operator.
the
I
official
don't know.
title, right?
Okay, cool. Well, whatever. All right, so we'll talk about that. Michael, we're going to take a quick break from the show. We're going to run a commercial break, and we got our beers. Huh? What? What, Perry? Perry's... What? Yeah, it's close enough. All right, Michael, we're going to take a quick break. Everybody who's listening, we're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back with Michael Peticolas Brewing, and we'll be right back right here on Liquid Lunch.
Liquid Lunch is brought to you by No Label Brewing Company, the brewery by the silos in Katy, Texas, bringing you such beers as First Street Blonde Ale, El Jefe, Hefeweizen, 11 Amp IPA, Ridgeback Amber Ale, and Pale Horse Pale Ale. As the seasons change, so do their seasonal offerings, Black Widow, Elda M, Don Jalapeno, and of course, Forbidden Lavender. And then don't forget those off-label brews, so good.
Perpetual peace. It'll change your life.
No Label Brewing Company in Katy, Texas. Join them in the tap room Monday Monday through Friday, 3 to 10. Sundays, 12 to 6.
Don't forget the Saturday tour and tasting. Kid and dog friendly. 12 to 3 Saturday.
Or anywhere finer Texas craft beer is sold. No Label Brewing Company, Katy, Texas, proud sponsor of Liquid Lunch.
Liquid Lunch is sponsored by Barbacoa Apparel. Barbacoa Apparel is a San Antonio-based independent clothing line that caters to Texans and Texans at heart. To find out more about Barbacoa Apparel or to buy your favorite taco tea, go to barbacoaapparel.com.
I'm so glad it's the weekend. Hey, honey, what's wrong?
I'm glad it's a weekend too, but it just seems to be missing something.
I'll tell you what this weekend needs.
Texas historical icon Sam Houston.
That's right. I'm Texas historical icon Sam Houston, and this weekend could use a slice of Texas history by going down to Richmond, Texas to the Texian Brewing Company. All throughout the fall, they'll be having beer and fun nights at the brewery. Family-friendly fun with great beer and the greater people at Texian. Check out TexianBrewing.com for time and details.
Oh, Sam, that's a great idea. They'll have their wild Texas beers, Black Jesus, and Aurora on tap. And I can't wait to try their new double IPA, Invincible.
Yeah, thanks, Sam Houston. Don't thank me. Thank Texian Brewing Company. Were you flirting with Sam Houston?
Oh, don't be silly.
Making history one pint at a time.
All right. Well, we're back, everybody. And scrambling a little bit today. Michael Peticolas is on the line with us, all the way from Dallas. Michael?
Hey, happy to be here, gang.
Yep. Quickly want to say hey to all the people listening, watching our Facebook stream. Brock, we see you. Caleb Wilson from Texian Brewing Company, he's watching. Victoria, good to see you. Tom, thanks, everybody. So, Mike, how's your day going so far?
So far, so good. This is going to be the highlight of my day, perhaps. Lunch, a liquid lunch, doesn't really get much better than that, you know?
Yeah.
Perfect way to start my, I'll drink a little bit of lunch here, and then we'll actually eat lunch when I'm done.
All right. Well, okay, so you have been in the news lately because of the lawsuits and everything else. You and who else was with you on the suit? Was it Live Oak? There's a couple of lawsuits there.
Yeah. You got it. Chip over at Live Oak and Rhett over at Revolver Brewing. So Peticolas, Revolver, and Live Oak.
Okay. So the lawsuit was that you simply wanted the hey, you got the case number and everything. Look at those graphics, Kennedy.
Thank you.
Mike, I don't know if you're able to see on the Facebook stream. I'm guessing not since you're on the phone. But they have the case. If you need to know the case number, wait, is that an actual legal document that you have on the screen there?
It is. I got it off his Facebook page.
Oh, okay. So anybody watching can read up on the details of the trial right there, case number and the whole thing. Okay, so the lawsuit simply was that brewers should have the right to sell their distribution rights as opposed to just give them away, which anybody that creates anything in a normal business sense should sells their product to make a profit and then create more and serve people and all that kind of stuff. It's capitalism 101. But in the state of Texas, that was not the case until just recently. So, Michael, what was the you look at that and somebody with common sense would say that doesn't seem right. But what was the genesis of the lawsuit and all that kind of stuff?
Well, yeah, I started to say it's funny. I guess it's not funny. But so in 2013, the legislature passed a law making it illegal for Texas craft brewers to sell their territorial distribution rights. So I literally had to give those rights away to a distributor who could then sell them to another distributor, the very next day. And if I wanted to break that contract, I have to pay back the value of that brand. So it always struck me, my background is in the law, actually, and the minute this thing was passed, I got up on my soapbox and said that, I did not think this was constitutional. It didn't make any sense that the small business, the one who creates the value of that brand, is the only party that doesn't get to realize any profit from it. That, you could bring in another party, a distributor, who could profit off of a brand that you built, thereby giving it away. And I can remember talking to people. I remember talking to a girl who was interviewing me one time. She said, "So let me get this straight. You have to give away that right." And I'm like, "Yeah, that's right." She said, "And a distributor can sell that right to another distributor and realize a profit." And I'm like, "Yes, that's right. And if you want to break that contract, you have to pay them back the value of the brand." And I'm like, "Yes, that's right." And she's like, "Well, I'm missing something. I don't understand why. I mean, I don't understand." I'm like, "No, I think you totally do understand. It doesn't make any sense. It just doesn't really pass that common sense test." But fortunately, not only does it not pass the common sense test, it doesn't pass muster with the Texas Constitution either. It violated our substantive due process rights. And, as a result, that law was struck down, right, 30 days ago, something like that. So it's been a long road to hoe, but I feel I'm extremely, extremely satisfied bringing back a right that brewers once had and giving it, taking it back, giving it to us again.
Yeah. Now, such is the nature of lawsuits and all of these things that once you have a decision, it's never set in very rarely set in stone. Once the first first decision is made, there's always appeals and all that sort of thing. So we have that in this case too, right? There's an appeal from the other side currently.
No, there's no appeal yet. So here's where we're at.
Okay.
What some people don't understand is once that order, I think that order that y'all probably have up on your site, I'm not looking, but if y'all ripped it from my post, and it probably is. Once that order was actually signed, that is the court declaring that law unconstitutional. And our suit was very narrowly tailored. We were talking about a single sentence in the Texas Alcoholic Beverage Code.
Okay.
So once the court signed that order, the law was declared unconstitutional. There's not any delay or anything like that.
Okay.
I could go to, a distributor that next day and negotiate for the sale of my territorial distribution rights. It doesn't mean that a distributor is going to pay for it. It just means that they can. It's part of the negotiation process.
Okay.
So typically, the losing party has 30 days to appeal that decision. We can talk about whether or not they are going to appeal this thing. They have not done that yet. I will say that they filed on Friday a motion for new trial. The motion for new trial really does not, it doesn't present anything new to the court that wasn't presented via the pleadings or the hearing that we previously had. Yeah, exactly. So I remain fairly confident that that motion for new trial will be denied, and there's a strong possibility the judge just doesn't even rule on it. She may just say, I've already ruled on this. I don't need to rule. And it's almost like kind of a pocket veto, right? Just after 30 days, it's automatically denied if the judge does not, issue an order on it. But so I think it's more of a stall tactic, frankly. I think there's some reasons the state may or may not want to appeal our case.
Mm-hmm.
But what the motion for new trial does for them is give them an additional 45 days on top of that initial 30-day time period to appeal. So they have preserved their right to appeal for a longer period of time. Whether they appeal or not, I guess time will tell. We'll know on, I think, November. I forget the actual date.
Okay. So as we
November 10th.
November 10th. Okay, we'll circle that day and watch for it. So as it stands now you personally at your brewery, you are self-distributed, correct?
Yeah, I'm 100% self-distributed. So, some brewers will have certain portions of their territory that they engage a distributor and maybe self-distribute some on their own. I 100% self-distribute every, ounce of beer that we produce. We take it straight from our brewery to, wherever our customers ordering from.
Okay. So now, as of the lawsuit or as of the decision striking that as unconstitutional, you could go negotiate your rights day of, and that's a pretty cool deal. What?
Well, yeah, absolutely. That's where I was. I didn't mean to interrupt you, but that's where I was before the initial bill was introduced. I was negotiating with distributors in 2013 for the sale of my territorial distribution rights and being offered significant sums of money. And then once that bill was passed, of course, all those negotiations ceased. Now, I continued to develop my relationships with distributors. And some people have been kind of surprised by that. I was like, no, I mean, these guys personally were still, I know these guys. They provide a valuable service in our industry, and so I've kept those relationships, because even though I thought the law was unconstitutional, you never know until the judge rules on it. And even though I thought I would win, oftentimes in the court of law, you lose when you think you were going to win. So I haven't really changed anything as a result of this decision. I mean, definitely I've talked to some distributors since then, but I was talking to them beforehand as well, and during this time period when it was illegal to obtain any valuable consideration for that right.
Okay. One thing I appreciate about the way you're handling your distribution, self-distribution, is the fact that your beer is only available in the greater Dallas area, kind of in the DFW area. We don't get it down here in Houston. Catherine, who's normally on, my co-host, she doesn't. It's not over in San Antonio, Austin. It's one of those things where when you come to the Dallas area, it's a treat. You get to try, and I mean, yes, I love to try great beer and have access to it all the time, but I appreciate the fact that it's only available in that area. Now, I don't know what are your grand plans. Do you want to be statewide? Is that the big plan? Do you want to stay more local, or how do you approach it?
Yeah, there was definitely a strategy behind that. I mean, when I got into this almost 5 years ago now, I mean, I had a big desire to, provide Dallas some culture, something that, it didn't really have. We didn't have a beer presence, and I wanted to be a part of that. And so my approach was always, even 5 years ago, I was kind of saying, look, man, the movement is the hyper-local. It's 8-9 years ago, drinking a beer in Dallas, you could order a local beer and they'd serve you a 512 from Austin. That was a local beer. You fast forward to now, and it's questionable whether a Fort Worth beer, just 35 miles from my brewery, is a local beer. People want, something that is straight from their city, whether it's Katy or, Houston. So that was a big part of what I was trying to do, something specific for Dallas. And I mean, you kind of hit the nail on the head. It's like, we have something special here, something that you can't get down here, something that we have that you don't have. I used to say, heck, I've been drinking great beer from Austin for a long time. I want to produce something that is great down here that no one else has, and that we can really, the Dallasites can really stand behind and believe in. And I think to a certain extent that approach has certainly worked, and as a result of us being so focused on, a 39-mile radius from our brewery, we've developed a long list of folks in Houston and folks in Austin who want our beer, so that if and when we do go into those markets, we actually can get some saturation. We're not taking it to a single location and having a single tap. We hit that market with, numerous locations and try to get some traction right off the bat. So, yes, at some point we will probably expand into new geographic markets. Our growth has just always kind of dictated that, it's not necessary that we do that. I'm a little more focused on slow, consistent growth. It's never been my plan to get my beer anywhere and everywhere as fast as I can. I like to kind of grow very slowly and consistently, and our growth has always satisfied myself and our employees. So we haven't had to really, pull that ace in the hole out of our back pocket. We've got a couple, we're not in package. We're not in a bottle or a can. We could probably double our production by producing our beer in a bottle or a can. We could definitely increase production by taking it into new markets. So when our growth slows to a point, it's like, what do we do? That's when we'll kind of pull out those cards and play those cards.
Very cool. Now, how big is your brew house? How much do y'all produce per year? Because I'm looking at your website with your list of beers, and there is, let me do quick math here. Let's see, 4, 8, 12, 16, 9, 21 beers on your website listed. That's pretty.
Yeah, that sounds about right. I guess 5. Yeah, that's probably accurate. I've got a 15-barrel brew house and 30-barrel fermentation.
Okay.
So all of our fermenters are twice as big as our brew house. Then we have 4 beers that are year-round. And then all those other beers are limited releases, whether, we typically have at least one limited release beer per month, right? And then, how based upon whatever the market tells us, we bring it back, so on and so forth. And, that's kind of the testing ground. All right, well, which one will become the next full-time beer? Our double IPA, Sit Down or I'll Sit You Down, is one that was just a limited release that finally, people just kept asking for it. And we're like, all right, well, let's brew this beer, make this a part of our year-round lineup. So you see 21 beers, but you couldn't call us and order 21 beers. You could probably order one. We probably have 8 beers available at any one time.
Okay. So it's not only...
I mean, you guys are finicky craft beer drinkers. They don't want the same thing month in and month out. They want, hey, I want the next thing. I want the new thing.
Right.
Give me something different.
So true. We are. We're kind of I wouldn't say finicky, like a cat. If you stroke our back and get us something new, that's what we want.
That's right.
So it's not only that you're in town; it's when you're in town, in Dallas, which I'll be up there in December for a wedding. So I plan on running around town trying to find as many of your delicious beers as possible.
Cool.
But as the craft beer fans, I'll speak for all of them here in Texas. We greatly appreciate what you've done on the legal side and what you're doing on the beer side, and what you're doing for Dallas, because as Houstonians, listen, we have a chip on our shoulder when it comes to Dallas. You guys, not only do you have your beer, but you also have like a bunch of Super Bowl championships that we don't have. So it's a touchy subject.
Well, it's cool to hear you say that. Thank you. I appreciate kind of saying those things. But it's funny, if you look at when I was starting this thing, Dallas has such a negative connotation or perception with people in Houston and people in Austin. So you look at my branding, nowhere does it really exemplify Dallas. I kind of laugh when I go back and look at my list of potential beer brewery names where I started. Lakewood is on there, and Deep Ellum is on there, and some other more localized names. And I ultimately thought, man, I don't know that I want to go into a Houston market or an Austin market with, really touting Dallas, because those guys don't like it. So there's somewhat of an intentional move to not include that reference. I definitely have the state of Texas, the outline of the state of Texas. I'm Texan.
Yes.
Our state motto is friendliness, and that's one of our corporate values, so it's included that way. But, I think it's cool of you to recognize that we're trying to actually do something a little bit different up here.
No, it's great. And James Simpson from What's on Tap Radio says, hey. And he says,
oh, yeah, excellent. Good. I'll make sure I say you return that hello. He's a great guy.
Yeah, he's listening.
Enjoying my conversations with him.
Yeah, he's listening right now. He wants he says he needs more Velvet Hammer in his life. So.
Well, the good news for you guys is we've actually decided this year to participate in Houston's Untapped Festival.
Oh, nice.
So
coming up
we're
in just
a
couple weeks, huh? 3 weeks.
We'll bring down Velvet Hammer and our double IPA, Sit Down or I'll Sit You Down, and I think we're going to bring the Ghost of Alfred Brown, kind of our it's a chili beer. We use our brown ale, Alfred Brown, and put some ghost peppers in a fermenter, and it really delivers a unique experience. Not over the top. We're all about kind of subtlety and balance, but it's a unique experience. That first drink, you might feel a little tingling, but as you finish your glass, it's getting a little bit warmer, and you can definitely tell, is there a chili in here? What's this going on? But never to the point where it's like, oh my gosh, that's hot.
Yeah, well, that's cool. Very cool. So Untapped here in Houston. That's great. Perry, you excited?
We'll be there.
Perry's excited. All right. Quick question. Now, there's a couple other lawsuits since you are, of the law. You've practiced law. There's a couple other Texas lawsuits going on. One, there's Crowler-Gate. What's the other one? The other one escapes me now. I'm not sure if you, Mike, if you know.
The off-premise Deep Ellum grapevine.
Yes, off-premise. What is your, I guess, your gut feeling on that and some of these other, we've got the blue laws that have been around since right after Prohibition and that sort of thing that are limit. I don't know that they're a priority for people to change, like the beer before noon on Sundays and that sort of thing. But what is your gut like that we're heading towards, maybe slowly but surely, towards more beer freedom in the state of Texas to help us compete with places like Colorado and California and Portland?
Good question. I guess I have a few different things to say about that. This is kind of where me and some of my fellow Texas craft brewers are at odds. I'm a big believer in exhausting all legal remedies that are available to me. The better my business and rights for Texas craft brewers in general. So I'm not afraid to go knock on the courthouse doors and have these guys address an issue that some of our other brewers out there really feel uneasy about doing that. They would much rather go through the legislature and feel that their feeling is that by filing these lawsuits, we're hindering our legislative agenda. I feel just the opposite. I feel that these lawsuits give us much greater standing at the legislative table. You know, when they sat down in 2013 and heard about, you know, this ridiculous sale of distribution rights law that I challenged, you know, all they could say is, hey, we don't like that, we don't like that. But when we win a suit like this, the next time they're at the negotiation table and someone's putting forth, you know, again, something that appears to be unconstitutional, I think it gives you great leverage or great bargaining power to say, you know what, if you guys pass that law, you're buying yourself a lawsuit because we're going to go ahead and challenge that lawsuit and we're going to kick your butt and the state's going to spend a lot of money defending that thing. Yeah. So I think it only makes us stronger if we sue the TABC or the state, win these lawsuits. I think it only brings us a stronger position at the negotiation table. Some people just don't feel that way. I do think it's ultimately these laws are going to open up for Texas craft brewers. I think the environment is going to continue to improve. I think, you know, they will realize at some point that, oh my gosh, man, there's a lot of tourism dollars to be generated here. There is a ton of tax to be generated here. There are a ton of jobs. The economic benefit eventually will kind of ring true, and I think you know, we'll see some of these changes that would give us equal footing to some of these other states out there. But, you know, as I mentioned, I'm going to try to exhaust every remedy available to me. I'm not just going to go to the legislature every 2 years if I can make change via, you know, the judicial system. So I really couldn't tell you. I don't know the merits. I haven't read the pleadings in those other two lawsuits you referenced. But, you know, I kind of get the same gut feeling that you referenced talking about my lawsuit when I hear about this Crowler case. I just, you know, I haven't read the pleadings. I don't know. This is just a guy talking out loud saying, I don't really see a difference between a growler and a crowler. Right. You know, you can bring up some arbitrary difference that does it pass legal muster. My gut is that, no, it doesn't. There's just no difference. I don't have any legal basis for saying so. The off-premise consumption case, I think that one's a little bit dicier. There's issues that are maybe a little bit more complex. For instance, in my suit, which is, you know, they brought up public policy. You know, it's going to be bad if we allow brewers to sell their territorial distribution rights. All these terrible societal ills will result in, you know, I think the normal consumer doesn't have any idea if I even have a distributor. And secondly, if I do, I don't know whether they never know whether you were paid for that right or not. So I think they were having a difficult time proving that, oh yes, if we allow brewers to do this, oh my gosh, the three-tier system's going to tumble over and we're going to have anarchy, and organized crime and things like that. But, you know, I think they've got a stronger interest in selling beer to go. Yeah. Right? Yeah. And so I just haven't looked at those pleadings. I think that's going to be a little bit more difficult case than our case. But, you know, that's, again, coming really from a layman's perspective because I'm not really providing any kind of expert legal analysis on that. I'll do that in my suit, but I'll allow their lawyers to do that in theirs.
Okay. Good. It's I don't see anybody champion, like for me, I have one that sticks in my craw. It's the when the grocery store can't sell beer after midnight, but yet the grocery store is open till 1. I know there's 3 guys in this room right now that we don't get off, like our real job, we don't get off work until midnight. And to be able to run into the grocery store is it's such a, you know, it's like if you can get out of the building at 55, sprint to the grocery store, run down the beer aisle, and do a dive and a shoulder roll past the self-scan so you can get your beer. I've thrown out a shoulder doing that. But it's one of those things like, well, if they could just sell beer until they close at 1 a.m. Yeah, well, yeah, Saturday. But I'm talking about throughout the week when I do my grocery shopping. But anyway, that's mine. Maybe I'll stand alone in championing that one.
Can't you just take?
No, I think there are others that feel maybe similarly to you. What you need is someone who feels so strongly that they want to spend a lot of mental energy, litigating a matter like that or trying to get a legislative change because, it's it's not easy. It definitely takes a toll. Litigation takes a toll on you mentally. I mean, it's kind of taken a toll on me and some of my relationships with fellow craft brewers. Some, who are upset at me for filing, and I'm thinking, I don't know why you're upset at me for filing. This is helping us. But I'm kind of glad to be through with that, done and over. I'm literally taking a little hiatus from fighting for rights, but that hiatus will probably be about 3 weeks, and then I'll be rejuvenated and ready to fight some more.
Yeah, it's like you just went.
But I'm not taking up your cause for you. Sorry.
Oh well, we'll keep shopping it around. Maybe we'll just do it right here, and we'll annoy them to the point where we're like, all right, fine, maybe we'll see. But you just went 12 rounds with the TABC in the state of Texas, and you came out on top. So we won't ask you right in the ring, right after the fight, who you're going to fight next. We'll give you time. Go back.
Exactly, right. That's exactly what I'm hoping. It's like, yes, let me just enjoy this and sit back and enjoy this one. It's been a long time coming. It's been a long fight. So it's nice to, sit back, relax, and, kind of step back and let someone else work on change for a little bit.
There you go. Well, Michael.
But just a little bit, because I will be back. It's in my blood to fight.
There you go. He's a fighter, ladies and gentlemen. He's a fighter and a brewer.
Sure.
And a great interview. Michael, thank you so much for being on Liquid Lunch today. Perry, could you throw up there we go. Brewery tours, first and third Saturday of the month, 1 p.m. to 3 p.m. Farrington Street there in Dallas, Texas. You can call and make sure they're going to be there, 214-234-7600, Peticolasbrewing.com. Go try all those beers when you're in the Dallas area. So
all 21.
You got it. Do it. Bring it. We'll have a bunch of beer pourings.
Very cool. All right, Michael, thank you so much. Peticolas Brewing Company, everybody, get up there. Give him a big hug for fighting for us. Yeah. Because that's what he did. Michael, you have a great rest of your day, and enjoy the rest of your lunchtime. And we'll talk.
Appreciate it, man. Y'all as well.
All right.
Enjoyed it. Have a great day. Bye.
Wow, dude.
Yay.
Great.
Who?
Yeah. I'm thinking Michael's going to be a regular on this show because he brought it.
I just have one question.
What?
How was that interview?
Huh?
How was that interview?
It's pretty good.
Yeah.
It's all right.
Guess how much of it I heard.
Oh, you didn't hear any of it?
Nah.
Oh, well, yeah, you got to get your headphones working, dude. All right, well, you'll work on that during the break. Everybody, thanks for listening in. If you got any questions or would like to talk to us, call us on the drunk dial line, 713-678-0070. We'll be back in just a moment. I'm going to talk about what I did over the weekend and much, much more. So everybody stick around. We're going to get Kennedy some headphones, and we'll be right back. More Liquid Lunch on the other side of this break.
Honey, I'll be in the beer aisle. What am I in the mood for? IPA, stout?
Hi, sir. Is there something I can help you find?
Well, I'm just trying to decide what beer I want.
The Shock Moon beer is really popular. Mommy, that's Daddy's beer.
Oh, yes. We'd love to put a slice of Tangelo in it.
Oh, my gosh. Me too. It's so good. I love that.
Oh, we just love to have it out by the grill. It's great for that nice summer day. Love it.
Don't listen to these people. The only beer worth drinking is an Imperial double barrel-aged triple brewed with tuna and unicorn horn. You can't even get it here.
I don't know why you drink all that fancy stuff. The bull malt liquor gets the job done.
What's going on here? Did you pick a beer?
I tried, but this whole beer shopping experience has turned into a total cluster.
We got another name for that.
Texas historical icon, Sam Houston.
That's right. I'm Texas historical icon, Sam Houston, and this shopping trip needs a slice of Texas history.
Oh, man. A ghost. Get out of my way.
Like Charlie Foxtrot from Texian Brewing Company. This Imperial Berliner Weisse, named after the legendary grass fight,
is a light-bodied and refreshing wheat ale with a great balance between sour and sour. It's a crisp, dry finish with just enough sweetness to leave your taste buds intact.
Wow, Charlie Foxtrot is unlike any other beer I've ever tried. And with a shot of raspberry syrup, it's a totally new drink. One great beer, two great ways to enjoy.
Yeah, thanks, Sam Houston. Don't thank me. Thank Texian Brewing Company.
Don't go down that beer aisle.
Making history one pint at a time.
Or that white guy down there.
Texian Brewing Company, Richmond, Texas.
Do you love craft beer? Do you love to laugh? Then you'll love me. I mean, who doesn't? I'm Catherine Contreras, and I'm the host of the She's Crafty podcast, a comedy and craft beer show taped in San Antonio, Texas, home of the Alamo, breakfast tacos, and some of the best craft beer in the Lone Star State. You can download the She's Crafty podcast on iTunes, Google Play, and just about anywhere you find badass podcasts. Or just go to our website, shescraftypodcast.com.
Hey guys, be sure to join us for the next episode. Next week, Ranger Creek's Kevin Hobbins and Catherine is back. What you eating, what you drinking, more Liquid Lunch you know and love. Join us next episode right here. LiquidLunchShow.com. Tell like 1,000 of your closest friends and join us next week. Bye-bye.
Hope you're ready for the next episode. Hey.
Drink beer every day.
This is Ronnie Crocker, the Houston Chronicle. Thanks for watching Liquid Lunch. Hope you tune in to episode 123 of Inner Brews. We'll be talking Houston beer history.
This is Interbrews.
Liquid Lunch is sponsored by Barbacoa Apparel. Barbacoa Apparel is a San Antonio-based independent clothing line that caters to Texans and Texans at heart. To find out more about Barbacoa Apparel or to buy your favorite taco tea, go to barbacoaapparel.com.
Hey, this is Schomburg. And these are useless facts. They're useless. When you blush, your stomach lining also blushes. Oh, sweet, sweet, useless. Hey, this is Schomburg. Hope you enjoyed those useless facts. Useless facts. Coming at ya. They're useless.
Your stomach blushes too, as well. Fact. Welcome back, everybody, to Liquid Lunch. Live. Texas's live midday craft beer show.
And I can hear now.
Good. Yes, it was complicated. You gotta put that tip on there and then put it in the hole.
Just the tip.
Just the tip. Put it on.
Yeah.
Put it in the hole, and then put it on your ears.
I've been doing it wrong this whole time.
The ears part. That's a big one.
Yeah.
That's a big one. Thanks everybody for listening. Of course, if you heard first, just this past segment, on back yonder, Michael Peticolas Brewing. Great interview.
Oh, I'm glad.
Yeah. You can listen to it back on YouTube, our YouTube channel.
Yeah.
Also, Facebook replays.
Yes, the YouTube channel.
Also, on Mixler, our Mixler feed is there too if you'd like to go back and listen to just the audio as you drive around. mixlr.com/Liquid Lunch. And soon coming the podcasts. I know I've been teasing that for a while. I'm a bit behind. So I wanted to, speaking of podcasts that I'm behind on, I had the fortunate stroke of luck, I guess, or whatever, to do three really good interviews over the last week. One on Friday, this past Friday, I was out at Baba Brew House in Brookshire. And little brew house, little 3-barrel brew house in Brookshire. So cute. Family friendly, kid friendly, good beers. So that'll be episode 124 with Baba Brew House. On Saturday, you've heard us promote it here for the last 2-3 months here on Liquid Lunch, the Texas Mead Fest. That was fun.
I wish I could have went.
It was a blast. Let me tell you, it was inside.
Yes.
So air conditioned. It was, I think, kind of a dry run, maybe a warm-up for the Texas Renaissance Festival as far as people watching. Super laid-back, super chill crowd.
Were there people in costume?
There was one guy who thought he was a Viking. Not like, hey, I like Viking stuff. I watch the show. I'm a fan of Minnesota, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
legitimately thought he was a Viking. Long blonde hair.
Yes.
Had the button-up sleeveless shirt.
Was he like just grabbing random women and taking them with him?
He had a whole table full of random women and kids. His kids were like wild animals running around.
Yeah.
It was
like,
impressive.
Like Vikings would be.
One of his kids, I believe the name was Thor.
Well, why wouldn't you? If you were Viking, that's like.
Well,
in Viking, I think that's like, Mike or John or something.
Yeah, Thor and Odin. Actually, I worked with a guy from Norway named Odin back in the day. So no, but he didn't have like a accent, like he was fresh off, the boat that he rode over here with the dragon on it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. That he rode over.
Right, and beat the drum as his Viking brethren got him over here. Whatever. He had a regular Texas accent, but whatever. He had
he's trying to blend in.
A horn? No, he didn't. He wasn't trying to blend in. He was trying to be a Viking. He had a horn.
Hold on.
A big ram horn.
Question.
Yeah.
Was he drinking mead out of a horn?
That
would have been awesome.
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know.
Okay. Just tell me he did.
Yeah, he did.
All right.
I think so. Now that I think about it, absolutely. So anyway, a lot of fun out at the Mead Fest. And then yesterday was Wednesday. We're live on a Thursday. I went down to the Houston Heights, went down to Eureka Heights Brewing Company on 18th, just west of Shepherd. And is it Dunham? Dunham, I believe. Anyway, just down 18th. Fantastic beers. We are currently drinking. You know what? Let's give it the due it is it deserves. So hold on, let's do Whatcha Drinkin' one more time.
It's time for your favorite segment and mine here on Liquid Lunch. This is
Whatcha Drinkin'.
So speaking of crowlers, that is a crowler you hold in your hand there, Kennedy.
Yes, I just yesterday I learned the difference between a crowler and a growler.
Yeah. So okay, what happens is that is just a silver can that they keep. They have a crowler machine is around $3,000. Oscar Blues sells them. There's a couple different variations on it, but the one that most people have seen is just like a tabletop, about the size of like a KitchenAid mixer sitting on top of a toaster oven is about the size of it. Perry cooks a lot. Perry, excellent cook. So anyway, that's about the size, and it's got a little platform. You take an individual crowler, a can with no lid on it, and then you fill it up with kegged beer, pre-carbonated beer, set it on the deck there, and then it crimps the top close, and then you have a sealed can aluminum growler called a crowler, and they put that label on, and they write what's in there, and we have their ESB. What is the name of their ESB? It's right there.
It's wicked awesome, bro.
Yeah, yeah, wicked awesome. Their ESB, it's only like a 4.6%, I believe.
My finger's in the way.
I think 4.6% is where this one falls in.
4.7.
4.7. All of their beers are very sessionable.
Very drinkable.
Yes. Vicky just mentioned that Hop Scholar had crowlers at one point, and that's what. Yes, that is true. That is one thing we were talking about with Michael. The lawsuit is pending right now. They're going to make a ruling. Hopefully, it should be in any day now. Is the problem the TABC had was that they labeled crowlers as manufacturing, which it's not. They're not. You're not manufacturing beer. You're taking beer that was made at a brewery and being sold somewhere else, and you're putting it in a container. It's like a glass with a lid. Basically, you're just crimping the lid. It's actually, if you're trying to keep people from opening it before they get to their destination, it's more secure than a typical growler with a flip top or screw top.
It's just like a normal
it's a
aluminum can.
32-ounce big can.
Yeah.
Super bless you. Super convenient. And when he takes it around to different accounts to see if they want to offer Eureka Heights beer, he fills up his crowlers and takes them over there. And most people are blown away because it makes so much sense.
I feel like all brewers should be allowed to do this.
Brewers are allowed. They're allowed to do it. We're talking about like a bar, like the Hop Scholar, or wherever.
Go down to
Flying Saucer, anywhere that serves beer, and you're saying, you know what, I want to take some of that with me. Can you fill up that 32-ounce growler? Write on it what it is. I'm going to take it to my buddy's house. We're going to watch the game, or we're going to sit out back and whatever, now that the weather's getting nice. You know what I'm saying? So that's what they're trying to decide. And hopefully we'll be able to use that. But this ESB, this Wicked Awesome, I love the style ESB, ESB Extra Special Bitter, which is an English style.
What that stands for.
Yeah. There's bitter, special bitter, and extra special bitter, or ESB.
It's not bitter at all, though.
Right. The connotation or the designation, I guess, as a bitter was before the IPA craze. This is an older style than the American West Coast IPA. But anyway, it's a very, very sessionable beer. It's biscuity, malty, like bread. It's like somebody just brought you a bread, like a piece of bread, right? Like before the meal, right, Perry? You getting that? You getting that at all? Bready, super delicious, and
it's also almost super gone.
Yeah. But they're right down there. They're so easy to get to here in Houston. But Eureka Heights will be on episode 126. No, 126. 126 of Interbrews, and in 2 weeks here on Liquid Lunch. So yeah. Also, the other thing I did this weekend was the Mead Fest. We talked about that. But Meridian Hive in Austin, they now can their mead.
Oh, stand by.
Stand by. Are you getting some? Are you just going to show the cans?
I'm going to show the can.
I'm going to sip on this ESB. Right. I got to meet a lot of good people in the mead area. You guys have met Bruce from Griffin Meadery, and he's the president of the Texas Mead Association. He's been on Liquid Lunch a number of times, but just a lot of good people, very laid back, just easy going. Even though mead is lumped in there with wine as far as manufacturing and that sort of thing, they're more beer mentality. Yep, Eureka. Yeah, they do. James Carlisle endorses my opinion. There you go. That's the Meridian. What is that? The Rhapsody.
Yes, I'll say I had one of these a couple nights ago.
Uh-huh.
Oh, damn.
Yeah.
These are delicious.
Yeah. I had the privilege of talking to Angie from Meridian Hive, and she's German. She's German. I learned that.
And you can order this online.
Yeah, that's the cool thing about the mead. You can order it online because it's considered a wine. So, yep. They also, I don't mean to give it all away for the podcast on the episode Interbrews coming up, Perry, but they have a milk stout, spiced with cinnamon and cayenne. So it's like a Mexican chocolate kind of flavor, super good.
I like that already.
It's
cinnamon and Kanye. What?
Kanye West, yes. They pump Kanye West. No, cayenne. So it's like spice, but a little sweet, but not sweet, just a hint, like the essence of sweet.
Yeah.
It's from cinnamon. Oh, dude, it's like I don't know. It's just it's like Pumpkinator's half brother that grew up down on the border. Is what I'm liking it to. That's
I'm
what
a fan of the Pumpkinator.
Yeah, it's not
Reminds me of Thanksgiving.
Yeah, not as full bodied. So I'm sure the half brother that the whatever parent is not the same parent to Pumpkinator. They were leaner, because the Pumpkinator are a little hefty, big boned, right?
Yeah,
thick.
I know about the big bone, thick.
Yeah, of course
type of people.
Of course you do.
Yeah. I meet a lot of them.
Yeah, Mu Caliente is what it's called. Thank you, James Carlisle from Texas Homebrewers.
Nurse Luke wants to know what was the flavor profile of that last beer Kennedy show, the Rhapsody.
Oh, it's not a beer, Luke. It's a mead. Oh wait, we got somebody calling in. Do we want to?
Yes, we do.
All right, here we go.
We have no idea what's about to happen.
Yeah, we don't know. Go caller, you're on the drunk dial line.
All right. So what beer pairs with being late for a radio/TV web show, and because you were doing some beer training at Southern Star Brewing Company in Conroe, Texas?
Something fast, like let's see, what would pair well with being late for a show?
Late. Something that hits you late, like a flavor
that creeps up on, like all of a sudden I can't believe that it was like I can't believe he was 50 minutes late.
Yeah. Man, has it been 50 minutes already?
Yeah, dude.
Wow.
We did.
Hey, listen. When you put on a show like I do, and you're constantly getting high fives and carried off the stage with a keg of beer over your head, it takes a while for the jubilation to die down to where I can pick up the phone and dial.
Okay. Well,
Okay, all that was fabricated, by the way. None of that happened, except for the fact that I was drinking Buried Hatchet at 10 a.m., which was pretty awesome.
That is pretty awesome.
It is awesome.
Yeah, I recommend somebody. Speaking of good stouts, that's right there at the top. Chad
Well,
Pilgrim.
sorry I missed the show today, guys.
No worries.
You didn't totally miss it.
Yeah.
You're here now.
Yeah. And you can
Well,
always
I'm
go
here.
back and watch the replay on Facebook and YouTube.
Yes.
So it's
And I most certainly will. So, yeah, I look forward to coming back. I'd say I'm going to be back next week, except I'm going to be at the some little there's like a beer fest up in Denver.
No.
Yeah,
What's the name
that
of?
sounds horrible.
Yeah, what's the name of it? I wonder
I
what.
believe they call that the Grand Cerveza Festivale de Americas.
Interesting. I
If
wonder
you don't speak Spanish, I'll translate that for you. It's a Great American Beer Festival.
Great American Beer Festival. Never heard of it.
Nah.
Just kidding.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, it's a startup thing.
Yeah.
You know, they're giving it a whirl to see. You know, first of all, you know, they're checking out this thing called beer. They think it's a fad, but they're going to give it a whirl anyway. And you know, Colorado, Denver, it's kind of a new thing for them.
Yeah.
You know, they want to jump on the bandwagon.
As you talk about your going to Denver and then drinking Buried Hatchet at 10 a.m. and you're super busy and that sort of thing, you kind of had a rock star weekend. You got 2.5 minutes to tell us about who you hung out with and what you did this weekend.
Oh my goodness! So this weekend was the most amazing thing. I still have goosebumps. So I went out to Fredericksburg, Texas, to the Peticolas Brewing Company, and for the release of the new Robert Earl Keen Front Porch Amber Ale. And while there, I got an exclusive interview with the man himself, the legendary Robert Earl Keen, right before he played an exclusive concert in front of about 200 people. And we drank. He drank his very first front porch ale with me right there in the offices, and I just got misty-eyed.
So that's front porch ale is the beer that his new beer, because there was the Robert Earl Keen Honey Pills.
Right. So the Honey Pills has been out for 2 years, and it's just been blowing up. That's been just doing amazing things. But the front porch ale, I got to tell you, that is it was not what I expected, because a lot of people like to dog on Amber Ale and not give it the credit it deserves. But I sat there, and so I'm going to post my interview on the Beer Logic site. But I will tell you this. It was so funny. I asked him, I said, "Do you have an overall beer philosophy?" And he said, "Yes." He said, "Beer should taste like beer." It was very profound, and I loved it. He was great.
That's cool.
He's a funny man. He's a legend, and he's not a licensing deal either. He was involved in the making this beer, and I'll tell you all about it. Except I'm short on time. You're going to cut me off, and so you'll have to watch the interview.
All right. Well, we'll do that. We'll post a link on all our social and that sort of thing. But that was pretty cool. Yeah, played a concert.
It was awesome.
Yeah. So
yeah,
cool. Be watching for Front Porch Ale. Very cool.
Yeah.
I think this may be my favorite Robert Earl song.
I will tell you this: the drunk dial line when you call in, it actually sounds like I am drunk because it's really hard to hear it. But I will say, you come in crystal clear, and where's Kenny and Perry? Are they there?
They're here.
I'm here.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Did we lose Catherine? Where's Catherine?
She's on assignment.
Oh,
Catherine's on assignment.
We need to address that, by the way. Yeah, we've had a couple of viewers.
Did we miss her?
No. We do miss her, of course.
Some of our.
Well, I missed her.
Yeah.
Some of our viewers are starting rumors that she's gone.
I miss her.
And we need to squash those rumors right now.
She's on assignment.
Yeah.
Catherine's on assignment.
Okay,
today.
cool.
That's what they're
All right.
saying.
Well, I will tell you my favorite part of the day is. Is not here.
Well,
that sounded just like it.
It does. I'm gonna cut that and use that. That should be good.
Yeah.
All right. Well, go ahead, real quick.
No, I'm saying you guys have fun. I'm gonna go back inside. I'm standing out in the parking lot. Just can't get a signal inside, so I got to go back inside, and I'm gonna go. I'm gonna drink me some more Buried Hatchet and talk a little more shop. And actually, we're washing down our beer with a little barbecue.
Awesome. That sounds pretty awesome. Give Dave and Heather and the gang and Omar, if he's out there, give them all a big hug and a kiss from Josh.
Yeah, absolutely. Shout out to those guys. Absolutely. They were great hosts today.
Cool. Well, some of our favorites. All right, Chad Pilbeam, everybody.
Thanks, Chad.
We'll talk to you again real soon. So,
yeah.
All right.
Bye-bye.
All right, so Chad Pilbeam checking in. He had a pretty full weekend. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back on the other side. We're going to wrap up this hour of Liquid Lunch, man. This has been a stellar event.
Yes.
Stellar event. All right, everybody stick around. We'll be right back. Liquid Lunch.
Liquid Lunch is sponsored by Barbacoa Apparel. Barbacoa Apparel is a San Antonio-based independent clothing line that caters to Texans and Texans at heart. To find out more about Barbacoa Apparel or to buy your favorite taco tea, go to barbacoaapparel.com.
Liquid Lunch is brought to you by No Label Brewing Company. The brewery by the silos in Katy, Texas, bringing you such beers as First Street Blonde Ale, El Jefe, Hefeweizen, 11 Amp IPA, Ridgeback Amber Ale, and Pale Horse Pale Ale. As the seasons change, so do their seasonal offerings, Black Widow, Elda M, Don Jalapeno, and of course, Forbidden Lavender. And then don't forget those off-label brews, so good. Perpetual peace, it'll change your life. No Label Brewing Company in Katy, Texas. Join them in the tap room, Monday through Friday, 3 to 10, Sundays, 12 to 6.
Don't forget the Saturday tour and tasting, kid and dog friendly, 12 to 3, Saturday.
Or anywhere finer Texas craft beer is sold. No Label Brewing Company, Katy, Texas, proud sponsor of Liquid Lunch.
All right, we're back, everybody, for our final segment. We had a question, right?
We did have a question.
What was the question?
It was from Nurse Luke.
Yep.
Nurse Luke. He's a new viewer.
Yeah.
And he's having a shrimp and fish fry tonight with the in-laws.
Okay.
And he was wondering what kind of beers pair well with that.
Okay, Luke. It depends on your spicing. Anything that's battered, like if you're doing a beer batter, something like that, you want to go light. You don't want to go too hoppy with the beer used in the beer batter. For beer batter, you really want to use something super effervescent, maybe like a Pilsner. Cream ale would probably be all right. Pilsner's a good Pilsner. Like a Hans Pils would be great for that. And then to pair with when you're eating it, if it's spicy, I may go pale ale or an amber ale. But drink whatever you like. That's the biggest thing. Drink something that you enjoy. But if I were gonna say fish fry, if it's on the spicier side, pale ale, maybe IPA. If it's on the more, non-spicy side, maybe a blonde ale, Pilsner. Something delicate that's not going to overpower the fish or the shrimp. They don't have a big flavor. If you wrap bacon around those shrimp, you could do a brown ale. You could do a double, Belgian double maybe, depending on how much bacon. If it's just a big pile of bacon. Or you just eat bacon and just whatever.
Bacon's good.
Yeah, bacon's awesome.
Yeah, it is.
Mm-hmm. But Luke, thanks for asking.
Yes,
of course,
thanks,
I love food pairing challenges because then you try it out and it's like, oh, that might not be the best. Like, well, I guess I'll just eat more and drink more beer and figure it out.
I knew that question was right up your alley.
Yeah, it's one of my favorite things. It's the best. Well, thanks to everybody who's been listening on the Facebook feed, the YouTube channel, on our Mixler feed. We really appreciate you, James Simpson and Carlisle, both of you guys. Love you. Thanks to Chad Pilbeam for calling in. Michael Peticolas Brewing in Dallas, Texas. It was an honor to have you on the show, my friend, and we look to having you back and looking to get up to Dallas to try some of that beer. Kennedy, great job today. Producer Perry, excellent job throwing up those all that information I needed right there.
It was a hairy start.
We're good.
We're good.
We're good.
It always is, though.
Yeah. We don't have to dwell on it.
Yeah.
It's in the past. What's in the past is in the past. Thank you all for listening. Jeff, Vicky, Brock. Anybody else I'm missing? I'm sure I am.
Tom. Yes.
Tom, thanks, buddy. Be sure to tell, thousands of your closest friends that Liquid Lunch is on every Thursday at noon. Be sure to join us next week. Catherine will be back. We'll have Ranger Creek on. So that'll be sweet. Or dry. That's my Mead Fest humor. Every time I was like, that's sweet or dry or semi-sweet. Anyway, thanks to our sponsors, Texian.
Fruity.
Yeah. No Label, Barbacoa Apparel. We couldn't do this without you, so we truly appreciate that. To all of you listening, We couldn't do it without you either. So have a great weekend. It is here. The weather's nice outside here in Texas. We have the best beer in the world here in the great state of Texas. Get out there and drink it. And we'll see you again next week right here on Liquid Lunch.